Love in the Age of Big Data. Scientists believe they've discovered a simple formula for happy relationships. And the storyteller of this article, Eve Fairbanks, has actually tried it. She starts by describing something about love that most people are familiar with, the first stage of love, limerence. This is the spine-tingling, heart-twisting, can't-stop-staring feeling, when it seems as though the world stops willing and time itself bows down and pauses before the force of your longing. This points us towards the main issue that this thesis tries to address. It's going to give us tips on how to have long-lasting relationships by scientifically defining love, then creating a connection between this and the more mystic approach to love, and then bridging the gap between the two and giving us a more composed general definition of love, an abstract concept in itself, as in a psychological phenomena, but in this case it will be hypothesized using empirical evidence. To understand that attitude that the other might have had towards the subject, I went through the article, and on this paragraph it says, "During a difficult period this year, lingering at my laptop deep into the night, I found myself clicking on articles that promised to turn love into a formula. For example, 15 ways to stay married for 15 years, 10 ways to make marriage divorce-proof, must-know guidelines for dating an ISTJ, which stands for introverted, sensing, thinking and judging kind of person. These are the reserved kind of people, in this case, the husband, that is, John." Well, the other goes ahead to admit that she was desperate. In this regard, the advice that John Gottman and Julie Gottman were giving are seen as vital information that most couples need. And it is due to this that the other admires the couple, the subject that is, and holds them in very high regard. He felt as if she had her own problems and the subject addressed them perfectly. These viewpoints make her interpretation of their behavior as lovey-dovey and sees their love as genuine and one to look up to. A lot of inferences about the couple, Julie and John Gottman, paints them as this perfect love and relationship gurus. I am a highly analytical person, and as such, this to me comes out as a marketing strategy. I think this is probably a bias that I have, and as such, my interpretations of some of the action range from marketish, and so am unconvinced and defensive and critical about the picture of marriage between as expressed by the individual experiences and the insight by the other. I, however, came to see a lot of statistics involved when making the evaluation on this article. For example, it's been said that the observations that John Gottman made were based on 3,000 couple studies, and actually most of the predictions he makes are precise and turn out to be actually true. And as such, I started to trust his opinion on love, reason being I like evidence and he provided a lot of it. Such instances where he actually states his sample when making the studies are this case here, where he said he studied 300 couples longitudinally, discovering patterns of argument and subtle behavior that can predict whether a couple will be happily partnered years later or happily divorced. This to me is empirical evidence that actually convinces me to trust the perspective, and as such, despite the fact that the other has this lovey-dovey view of the couple, I ended up agreeing with the other on her opinion about love, and this article therefore to me was a very valid one and corrected my bias towards agreeing with the couple on this take.